How's it going, guys? It's Red, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys a super powerful SMG setup that you guys could be using right now in Back 4 Blood. But before we get into that, if you're new here to the channel, make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe for more awesome Back 4 Blood content just like this. Also, make sure to check out the link to my Discord server. It's going to be down in the description below. You guys can use it to find teammates to play Back 4 Blood with. So if you guys are in some dire need of teammates, make sure to come check out the Discord server. And without further ado, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Alright, so here we are in the deck building menu in Back 4 Blood. This is going to be the complete deck list, so if you guys are just looking to copy and paste the deck, now is your time to do so. But for the remainder of this video, I'm just going to be talking about why every card is where it is, and just what role every card plays in the deck, and just everything like that. Now, the objective of this deck is a little bit different than most of the other DPS decks in the game, just because we have some other, attributes that we can kind of, take advantage of using SMGs that we don't really get when we use other weapon classes like ARs, shotguns, just stuff like that. And the main advantage that SMGs has over pretty much every other gun class is the fact of just how mobile you're going to be while using an SMG. And this deck is kind of based around just being as mobile as humanly possible while still putting down a good amount of damage. Now, at the number 1 spot, we have Speed Demon, which gives us plus 4% move speed while using an SMG, and plus 35% reload speed while using an SMG. Now, the reason that this card is just all the way at the top, all the way at the starter card, is because, first off, this card has no downsides, and this card is tailor-made for SMGs, and that's what our entire deck is built around. And just getting a free 35% reload speed with no downside. Look at a card like Widemouth Magwell that gives you 30% reload speed and a downside. Now, the only reason that this card just doesn't see a whole lot more play is just because it's for SMG specifically, and there's no other card that does this for pretty much all of the other gun categories. There's no card that, gives you plus reload speed for ARs. There is a card that, does a similar thing for shotguns and stuff like that, but it's still just not even close to as good as Speed Demon is. Now, at number 2 is going to be Line 'em Up, which gives us plus 10% effective bullet range, 15% recoil control, and 25% bullet penetration and aim speed. Now, the main thing that we're getting out of Line 'em Up is the effective bullet range and the aim speed. The recoil control and the bullet penetration are nice little add-ons, but that's not particularly why we're playing the card. We're playing it for the effective bullet range and the aim speed. Now, at number 3, we have Cold Brew Coffee, which gives us plus 15% reload speed and 25% aim speed, weapon swap speed, and use speed. Now, much like Line 'em Up, we are mainly just using this card for the reload speed and the aim speed, because those are both things that SMGs, really want. And, weapon swap speed and use speed are both just, good things to have increased, just as bullet penetration and recoil control are just good things to have increased. And use speed got, significantly better ever since the Tunnels of Terror DLC, because, you gotta tear through all those webbings and all the hives, and use speed is actually what makes that go faster. So getting, just a little bit of increase in that is, just pretty good for also no downside. A common pattern you're gonna see with, a lot of my card choices is I try to pick the cards that, do the most without having as much of a downside. Right now, with just my first 3 card picks, I have 10 different effects going with absolutely 0 downsides, and that's kind of the pattern that I try to do with all my decks. Now, number 4 is going to be Shredder, which is each bullet hit causes the target to take 1% increased damage for 3 seconds, and it stacks up to 15%. So when it comes to Shredder, the faster of a fire rate that your weapon has, the more broken Shredder is going to get. And SMGs have the fastest fire rate in the entire game. So therefore, we are going to be able to shoot 15 bullets, the quickest with SMGs, and get that 15% increased damage. And Shredder is basically going to guarantee that everything outside of huge bosses like hags and breakers and stuff like that is going to die within 15 bullets, because I don't imagine many things are going to be able to take 15 bullets plus 15% extra damage from all the SMG bullets. Now, number 5 is going to be Adrenaline Fueled, which says when we kill an enemy, we gain 7 stamina over 7 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. Now, weirdly enough, Adrenaline Fueled doesn't say that we have to melee an enemy or use a melee weapon in any sort of way to get this extra stamina off Adrenaline Fueled. So what we can actually do is we can still just shoot zombies and still get all of that extra stamina. And we are going to use that to our advantage because, like I said in the beginning of this video, SMGs are really mobile, and that's, their main thing is their mobility, and this is going to give you essentially unlimited stamina as long as you're just, killing the common when you see them. Now, number 6 is going to be Silver Bullets, which gives us plus 10% bullet damage and plus 15% effective bullet range. Now, the main reason we're playing this card, much like Line 'em Up, is just for the effective bullet range. SMGs don't shoot very far, so we need to get cards that help them shoot farther just so we can keep the Ridden away from us. Now, number 7 is going to be ammo belt, which gives us plus 50% ammo capacity and plus 15% reload speed. Now, the main reason that we're playing ammo belt over something like ammo mule is actually just because I feel like 75% ammo capacity is just too much for an SMG. Like, you just don't need that much ammo, and ammo belt also gives you 15% reload speed for absolutely no downside, and ammo mule gives you a downside. And there's no reason to play ammo pouch because I just feel like 25% ammo capacity just isn't enough, and the 2.5% bullet damage just isn't relevant enough to make me want to play it. Like, for my ammo cards in my decks, I don't like to have them exclusively hold ammo and that's it, let alone exclusively hold ammo and then give me a downside. I want my cards to, you know, give me ammo and then some other type of value. So like ammo belt gives me 50% ammo capacity and 15% reload speed. Like, that's an extra bonus just for playing the card, and we get no downside as well. Also, we are playing other ammo cards in the deck. I mean, spoiler alert, we're going to be playing mag carrier, which gives us another value, you know, just the extra damage on top of the ammo capacity. So by playing these two cards, we're essentially getting 80% ammo capacity, 15% reload speed, and 10% damage with our SMGs, rather than just playing ammo mule and getting 75% ammo capacity and a downside. Now, number 8 is going to be front sight focused, which gives us plus 20% accuracy, 10% weak spot damage, and 15% aim speed. Now, this card's in here just to increase a lot of the categories that, you know, we're trying to increase that aren't particularly damaged. Like, accuracy is something we're obviously interested in, you know, getting more of, and our weak spot damage is kind of something that we haven't touched on for the entirety of this deck. Like, we've touched on base damage, and we've touched on stuff like bullet penetration, but, I mean, we haven't actually focused on weak spot damage yet, and obviously aim speed is very helpful as well. Now, number 9 is going to be Reckless Strategy, which gives us plus 30% weak spot damage and minus 5% damage resistance as the downside. Now, the reason that I'm playing Reckless Strategy, I mean, rather than Hyper Focus, is like I was saying earlier, I don't like a lot of my cards to have, you know, just ridiculous downsides, and Hyper Focus has just a ridiculous downside. Minus 40% move speed while shooting or melee attacking. Like, that is just too much of a downside, especially for a mobility-based deck like SMGs. Like, just moving 40% slower while we're aiming and shooting, like, that just isn't where we're trying to be. Like, we are trying to stay mobile the entire time, and this card is the exact opposite of that. Now, number 10 is going to be Screwdriver, which gives us plus 50% use speed and plus 10% stamina. Now, this card kind of puts double duty in because not only is the use speed helpful, because like I was saying earlier, with, you know, the hives coming in, all these webs coming in, you know, just use speed is better now than it ever was before. And with the 10% stamina, I mean, that kind of puts in double work because, you know, stamina is just normally good, but it's especially good in this deck just because of how mobile we're going to be. And there's no downside for this card. Like, this is a lot of value for absolutely just no downside either. Now, number 11 is going to be Large Caliber Rounds, which gives us plus 7.5% bullet damage and plus 200% bullet penetration. Now, the reason that this card is all the way down here, because it usually is all the way up here, is simply just because of what weapon class we're choosing. Like, SMGs just don't care about bullet penetration that much. They more or less care about things like what Shredder has to offer that utilize their high fire rate. So it's not that this card is bad, it's just not as good as Shredder, and it's not as good at cards that just, you know, give SMGs better effective bullet range. It's just not better than these, but it's still good. Now, number 12 is going to be Wide Mouth Magwell, which gives us plus 30% reload speed and minus 5% damage resistance as the downside. Now, this card is in here mainly just to cap everything off that isn't damage related, because after the spot in the deck, we are going to be basically solely focusing on damage, and I just wanted this to be like the last thing to cap off to make sure that we have everything we need before we just start moving straight into damage. So number 13 through 15 are all going to serve the same purpose, that being DPS, but they all just kind of take a slightly different approach at it. Number 13 is going to be Mag Carrier, which gives us plus 30% SMG ammo capacity and plus 10% damage with our SMGs. And we got number 14, which is going to be Marked for Death, which says mutations you ping are highlighted and your team deals 10% increased damage to the highlighted enemies. And number 15 is going to be Ridden Slayer, which gives us plus 20% weak spot damage. So all of these cards are doing damage in just slightly different ways, and it's just going to be a nice way to cap off the deck and just to make sure we're just doing as much damage as we need to be doing, and just so we can kill everything that we need to be killing. Well, that's going to do it for the video, guys. Make sure to leave a comment down below telling me any deck changes that you guys would make, and as always, if you happen to enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more awesome Back 4 Blood content just like this. Also, make sure to check out the link to my Discord server. It's going to be down in the description below. You guys can use it to find teammates to play Back 4 Blood with, so if you guys are in some dire need of teammates, make sure to come check out the Discord server. And until next time, it's been Red, and I'll see you guys in the next video.